Sup everyone, it's Trainer Dell, and in this video I'm going to be sharing my Weiss Schwarz King of Fighters deck profile. So yeah, back in the day when I first saw Weiss, I saw Angel Beat cards and that was the only thing I was really interested in, but I didn't really want to build a deck on it because the cards were kind of pricey and apparently it was top tier. A few years passed and I met some people who really play the game, and I found the local community around here, so I was like, yeah, I'll build it. So I ended up building that, and I did research and found out that in Japan there were just so many sets out there, and fortunately King of Fighters was one of them. So I was really happy because it's one of my favorite fighting games, and Kusanagi is my favorite fighting game character. So yeah, let's get right into this. So starting off, we got 4 Sweeper Kios, and it may have only 2k power, but it does gain 1,000 on your turn. The most important part of it is it does have Hand Encore, so that's really cool, and I see it as using it to really build up the stock, because this deck needs stock at the end game, honestly. So I really want to build it early, and something that geeks me out is the fact that the first card you're able to play of Kyo, he's wearing his first appearance outfit. I find that really cool, which is kind of different than this card, this Iori here, because he's actually the first one you can play, and he's actually in his latest outfit. 3k vanilla, but it is an Orochi trait, and that Orochi trait is very important in this deck. So here is also 2 Kusanagis, and in the beginning of the duel and the game, it's not that great. It can help out sort of, but where it really shines is later in the game, because it is a minus. But basically when you play this card, you can discard 1 card from your hand to the waiting room and then send this to the waiting room to salvage any card with Kyo in the name. So you can really do combos and just grab what you need, which Kyos you need to do whatever. Running 2 AGs for his Brainstorm ability, you pay 1 stock and rest this card to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, send them to the waiting room, and for each Climax card you get to salvage a card. So pretty cool. And ending off the level 0s is probably the most important card in the deck. You need her on the field. It gives a 500 assist boost, which is cool, but its second effect is really good, and with 4 of these, I really hope to get it out. For 1 stock and resting this card, you can make any Orochi or Dragon trait character become a level reverser. So that is so good, because you can just be blowing things up on the field, and it really can clear your opponent's field. You don't really have to be worried about how strong they are, as long as you're a level equal or higher. So pretty cool. So that's it for the level 1s. Level 0. Let's get to level 1s. So here in the level 1s, start off with 2 of these Kyo Red Lotus. It's pretty cool because when one of your characters becomes reversed, it gains 1,000 power. So with the whole Shermie thing doing its business, making other Orochi cards level reversers, you just crash into things and this gets powered up. It also has Hand Encore, so that's really cool. It gives it lasting power. I'm running 3 Kyo Kusanagis, and what this card does is if there happens to be Team Japan in your waiting room, then it gains 1/5 power, and also it has a Climax combo with Ura 108 Shiki, where it'll gain 1,000, and if you reverse an opponent's character, then you can put that character back on top of their deck. I totally wish I had a playset of these, but this is the sealed Iori, and its first effect is alright, but I don't use the Climax combo in this, so its secondary effect is Encore. And at 45 you may think, oh, it's not so strong, but using it in conjunction with the Shermie, you can just crash into something, ditch a card from your hand, and put them back into rest. So you don't have to take direct damage basically the next turn. So I do like that aspect of it. I would wish I had 4 of these. I really do. And then I have 2 vanilla Shermies, 55 vanilla. It's pretty good. Orochi trait. So that's all it really is there for. Running 2 of the Sun and the Moon. You need this in the grave to help another card in the deck. But you can only play this if you have a Kyo or Iori on the field. And it gives a character plus 25 a power and 1 soul. Running 2 Team Japans, and this helps out that Kyo from earlier, gain the 1/5 when it's in the waiting room, but it also just salvages 2 characters from your waiting room. So that's a cool event. And ending off my level 1 cards is this Ura 104 Shiki, I believe it's called, and it just grabs any event from your waiting room back to your hand. So yeah, let's get on to level 2s. Getting into the level 2s, we have Kyo, Prince of Flames, and it's pretty cool. Has 2 soul. It has a climax combo with Perfect Victory, where you pay 1 stock and you can bounce your opponent's card, any one of them, back to their hand, and have this card gain 3k. It also has a change ability, but I really don't use that. I won't ever use that because the card it changes into is pretty whack. This is another card I wish I had a playset of, and it's Kyo Iori. If Moon and the Sun is in your waiting room, it gets plus 1 soul, and if it has a climax combo with the Fate of 660 years ago, where if before it attacks or whatever, you can add a Moon and the Sun back in from your waiting room to your hand. So you could do that, or you can have it keep at 2 soul. Because it's an Orochi, it works with Shermie. Because it is a Kyo in the name, it works with the Kusanagi card. It is like the most well-rounded card in this deck, and I really wish I had 2 more. We have this backup in Yamazaki. So it gives 2,500 backup basically for just 1 cost. And if you use its backup for 3 stock, you can snipe an assist character or a support character, I believe. Anything in the back row? I need to recheck that honestly, but it's pretty cool. Honestly, I don't think I'll be using that top one because 3 is kind of a lot. But also, I could just pay the 1 stock, play him, and because it's a level 2, and I would want to have Shermie on the field, I can actually it becomes a level reverser and takes out other level 2s that are way stronger than it. So that itself is pretty cool. And then for the final level 2 is this Yoshiro, and it kind of works as the deck's powerhouse. It's actually more powerful than the level 3 in my deck. And when it comes out, it gains 1,000 if there's 2 or more Orochi cards, which is what this deck's focused on. Hopefully you have 2 Shermies in the back, so it'll come out with 9k. Pretty easy. Its second ability is when it reverses a card for 2 stock, you can add an Orochi or Dragon from your waiting room back to your hand. So it just works well with this right here. You can just get this back in your hand and protect them for the next turn. So yeah, pretty cool. Orochi himself, so he's pretty big, but he can destroy things. So yeah. Lastly, we'll be looking at my level 3s and the climaxes, and we'll start off with my only level 3. I can't find any more of these guys online or anywhere, but this is Kyo of Success for Powerful Flames or something like that along those lines, and it's only 85. And level 3, that's pretty weak, honestly, from seeing all their cards out there, but it has 3 decent effects. Its first effect is when it comes into play, you can pay 2 and add any event card back from your waiting room to your hand. For 4 cost, when you play an event, you can deal 3 points of damage to your opponent. And finally, it has Hand Encore, so hopefully he stays around for a while. And you can play events and stuff and deal damage. So just 1 of him. Kind of wish I had 2. So yeah, here are the climaxes, and this is the Ura 108 Shiki with a gate trigger. It's a plus 1k, plus 1 soul, and works with the Kyo Kusanagi, the level 101. running 3 perfect victories. This works with the Prince of Flames Kyo, and it is a bounce trigger. It's also a plus 1k plus 1 soul climax. And finally, 2 of the Fate of 660 years ago or something like that. And you draw a card and you give one of your characters plus 3 soul. So this works with the Kyo and Yorai card. So yeah, that's the deck. And then I want to show off some extras. So these right here are some extra cards that I gathered, and I didn't have room for them, but I guess I'll show them off. So if you have any suggestions what I should move around or if everything's good, let me know in the comments below. But here's the Shingo Yabuki card, and it has an assist of 500. But what's also cool about it is if I pay 2 stock and rest this card, I can search my deck for any relics or bread card. So he himself is bread. I don't think I'd ever use that, but all the Kyos are relics or sacred treasures. So he would work, but I feel the Kusanagi works better with less cost. I don't have to waste any stock on the Kusanagi. Got some Blue Marys here for the 0 game, and if there's 3, I believe, or more level 0s, I can't exactly remember which number. Yeah, 3, then it gets plus 1k. So hopefully it comes out as a 35 hitter. Another Red Lotus Kyo, 2 more of the Shermie Vanillas, the Mature and Weiss that give Iori and like the Rugal card 1,000 boost. And also you can pay 1 and tap it, or not tap it, I'm sorry, rest it. I think it's a brainstorm, so you send the top 4 cards, and for each climax you can search your deck for an Orochi trait character, and it's also an Orochi. So I kind of want to fit this in because it's another brainstormer, and it's an Orochi and level 1, but I still don't know where to put it. Maybe take out a vanilla Shermie, maybe. Here's Makagi, and when it gets sent to the waiting room from the field, I pay 2 to salvage any character card, so I can get back, I don't know, whatever I need. I don't know. Here's the Green Flame, Purple Flame event card and backup, or a counter. Not a backup, but a counter. And basically, I choose a character and return it to my hand, then my opponent chooses a character and returns it to the hand. I don't know if I want this, but with just 1 cost, I could play it with the level 3 Kyo, and I wouldn't have to, pay so much. Just options. Another Moon in the Sun. Another 104 Shiki. I have never been able to pronounce his name. Goetz. I don't remember. But or I can't remember his name, honestly. It may not even be that. But what he does is at 2, he has 10k, and he gives all the opponents in the front row 1,000 power, and that may seem beneficial to your opponent, but for 6 stock it has a pretty cool effect, although I don't think I'll ever fit this card or need it. When it's your opponent's battle phase or attack phase, you can pay 6, and then all their characters have the ability, they must like sacrifice a card to attack. So they must send a card in their front row, I believe, to the waiting room. I don't think it's the back row, because that would be too easy. I think it has to be like it's send another front row character. Then Yamazaki, Kim, who has a weird ability where when it attacks, you flip a card, and for every soul trigger, it gains another soul. So I mean, if you hit the double soul trigger, it'll get 5 soul or something like that, right? When it hits. And it has Hand Encore, so level 2, 7k, but it's neither relics or Orochi, so I couldn't really fit in the deck. Just a Mai, just something that I found and picked up. 185 vanilla beat stick, but still does not work with the deck. And then there's this card that is pretty expensive, and I think it gives a character plus 1 soul, and then it bounces an opponent's character back to their hand. So pretty cool, but pretty expensive. So yeah, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Peace.